All right, lovely students, good morning. Today we are going to divide 3,192 divided by 2. 3,192 divided by 2. And we're going to use our lovely acronym. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Repeat. We're going to use our acronym. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburger? Repeat. We know that the D stands for divide. The M stands for multiply. The S stands for subtract. The C stands for check. The B stands for bring down, and the R stands for repeat. So now we're going to get started. We're going to divide. So we're going to divide 3 divided by 2, or I could say, how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 3? So I'm going to multiply by 2 until I get to 3 or I pass it. And I'm going to do my multiplication on this side. So 2 times 1 gives me 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4. So I got to 4, that's past 3, so I'm going to stop. So how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 3? Well, I can't pull 2 groups of 2 out of 3 because 2 groups of 2 will give me 4. But I could pull 2 groups of 1 out of 3. So how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 3? I could pull 1, and my 1 goes directly on top of my 3, and I'm going to put a check next to D because I just divided. Now I am ready to multiply. Put your times or your multiplication sign in the corner, and we're going to multiply. 1 times 2 is 2, and that 2 goes directly underneath my 3, and I'm going to check M for multiply. S stands for subtract. What is Miss Phillips subtracting? I am subtracting 3 minus 2. So put your subtraction sign, put the bar, and then subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then put a check by subtraction, by S for subtract. Now I'm ready to check. I am checking to see if my remainder is smaller than my divisor. Now my 1 is smaller than my 2, so since that's correct, I'm going to put a check next to my 1 and put a check next to C. And there's a reason why we check here to see if the remainder is smaller than the divisor. If my remainder is not smaller than my divisor, that means I've subtracted wrong, I might have multiplied wrong, I might have even divided wrong. So it's very important that this number be smaller than my divisor. Now I am ready to do B, which stands for bring down. I'm going to bring down my 1 all the way next to the 1 that I have here. And I'm going to put a check next to B. Now I am ready to repeat. Put my check by repeat. I'm starting all over. I'm starting with the D for divide. So I am dividing 11 divided by 2, or I'm thinking, how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 11? So I'm going to multiply by 2 until I get to 11 or I pass it. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12. And I'm going to stop here. So, how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 11? Well, I can't pull 2 groups of 6 out of 11 because 2 groups of 6 is 12. But I can pull 2 groups of 5 from 11. So how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 11? I could pull out 5. I could pull 5 groups of 2 out of 11, and I have just divided. Now I'm ready to multiply. 5 times 2 is 10, and I put my 10 directly underneath my 11, and I'm going to check my M for multiply. Now I am ready to do my S, which stands for subtract. What is Miss Phillips subtracting? I am subtracting 11 minus 10. Put my subtraction sign, put my bar. 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. I have just subtracted. Now I'm ready to check. I am checking to see if my remainder of 1 is smaller than my divisor of 2. Well, yes it is, so I'm going to put my check by my 1 and put a check by C. Okay. Now I'm ready to do B for bring down. I am going to bring down my 9 all the way to right next to my 1. I have done B for bring down. Now I'm ready to repeat. I'm checking my R for repeat, and I'm starting all over. Okay, so how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 19? I'm going to multiply by 2 until I get to 19. So 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 9 is 18. Let me pull this up here. 2 times 10 is 20. And I'm going to stop there at 20. So, how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 19? Well, I can't pull 2 groups of 10 out of 19 because 2 groups of 10 is 20, but I can pull 2 groups of 9 out of 19. So how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 19? I could pull 9. My 9 goes at the top. I'm going to put a check by D for divide. Now I'm ready to multiply. 9 times 2. Well, 9 times 2 is 18. So I'm going to put my 18 directly underneath my 19. And then I'm going to put a check for multiply. Now I am ready to subtract. What am I subtracting? 19 minus 18. Put my subtraction sign, put the bar, and then I'm going to subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. I have just subtracted. Now I need to check to see if my remainder of 1 is smaller than my divisor of 2. Is my remainder of 1 smaller than my divisor of 2? Yes, it is. I'm going to put a check by my 1 and put a check by C. Now I am ready to bring down. I'm going to bring my 2 all the way down, and I need to see my lovely students drawing their arrows. Bring my 2 all the way down next to the 1, and I'm going to put a check for bring down. Now I am ready to repeat. Put a check for repeat, and we're going to start all over. We're ready to do the D, which stands for divide. How many groups of 2 can I pull out of 12? Well, I could use my multiplication, and I see here that 2 times 6 is 12. That means that I could pull 6 groups of 2 out of 12. So how many groups of 2 can I pull out of 12? I could pull 6, and I'm putting my 6 directly at the top. I have just divided. Now I'm ready to multiply. 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12, and I'm writing the 12 directly underneath the other 12. I have just multiplied. Now I am ready to do the S, which stands for subtract. What is Miss Phillips subtracting? 12 minus 12. Put your subtraction sign, put the bar, and let's get ready to subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. I have just subtracted. Now I am ready to check. Is my remainder of 0 smaller than my divisor of 2? Yes, it is. So since it is, I'm going to put a check next to 0. I'm going to put a check next to C. There are no more numbers for Miss Phillip to bring down, so I have nothing to bring down, and there is nothing for me to repeat. So there will be no checks by the B for bring down, and no checks by the R. So 3,192 divided by 2 is equal to 1,596. Let me put my comma. 1,596. Hopefully this helps you guys with division. Bye, guys.